In July 2021, travel bloggers Gabby and Ryan were traveling in the United States. Wherever they went, they would take photos and update them to social media sites. It was a trip, but it was also considered work because posting on social media constantly is a must. There have been several videos and photos posted throughout the journey, and many fans have been following Gabby and Ryan's journey every day because they love their fun and romance. And it would be great if things continued to calm down at one half this video. Heartbreakingly, the tragedy that occurred on August 26th occurred on September 1st, when the last photo of Gabby was posted on Instagram. Ryan rides home in Gabby's van. Ryan went home alone without Gabby's family. Poor young girl Gabby works with the police to find her daughter's whereabouts. Ryan hired a lawyer and quietly holed up at home. What happened to Gabby Ryan? What did he do? Many people call Ryan Chris what? The second trip should be happy. Why did it have such a tragic result? Today, after consulting and synthesizing information from multiple sources, let us review the details of this case. In the process of learning about this case, I had many complicated emotions, probably because this case involves love, an emotion that should be used to protect rather than borrow. To hurt others, this is a video about trauma and love cases. The video will have many personal opinions that you may or may not agree with. That's okay, but let's keep watching because it's good. Hello, I'm Agent M.
People killing, people dying, shouldn't hurt you here, I'm crying. Can you practice what you preach? Would you turn the other cheek? Father, 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 help us and some guidance from above. 'Cause right now people have me questioning, where is the love? The love, the love, where is the love, the love, the love?
Gabby and Ryan are a very young couple. Gabby was born in 1999 and Ryan was born in 1997. They are a young couple who have recently become engaged in a passionate love affair. They had a job before but quit due to the COVID pandemic, and Gabby and Ryan chose careers as celebrities. Gabby's main work on social media. Gabby is known on social media as a travel blogger, Gabby Girl, who saved up money to buy a minivan and restored the interior into a professional camper van. Young Gabby's dream may have been to travel with her loved ones. Everywhere in the car is home, where you can go out for fun and work to make money. Although a bit dreamy, it's a very beautiful prospect and a legitimate dream to have a positive, happy, energetic Gabby, which I feel very clearly when I visit the couple's Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. On July 2nd, 2021, Gabby and Ryan officially started their trip. America in Gabby's van. Photos from the trip are posted on their Instagram page, and a long video titled Van Life is posted on YouTube. If you just look at Gabby's videos and photos, you'll see that Gabby is happy. Fortunately, Gabby lives in the happiest days of her youth, free to do the things he likes and be with the people he loves. But in fact, as they show, something happened to the couple about a month later. On August 12, 2021, the police in Multh, Utah discovered that the quarrel between Gabby and Ryan was so serious that the police had to stop their car and separate them for questioning. Later, we will analyze together this video of the police interrogating two police officers and asking them to stay apart for a night to calm down. We will not know what happened after that day until September 1st, 2021, about a month later. Unable to contact their daughter, Gabby's family called police to search for Ryan, but nothing was done. Ryan hired a lawyer and hid quietly in the policeman's house. It was almost impossible to find Gabby, and he didn't know what happened to Gabby. But in the most difficult time, some TikTokers helped Gabby find Gabby. TikToker Paris Campbell was the first to notice this, posting a video announcement of Gabby's disappearance within a week. Gabby posted more than 40 videos analyzing the places Gabby viewed on social media. One day, two travel bloggers, Kyle and Jen, were traveling across the United States when they realized they were traveling in the Teton National Forest. That same day, the two men immediately ripped through the video taken that day and discovered that they had actually captured Gabby's white truck parked on the side of the road. The information was immediately sent to the FBI to determine the location of the car and the video of searches around the area. They eventually found Gabby, or Gabby's remains, so to speak, and it was the most painful thing that happened. The body lay there for about 4 weeks. Officer Garvin said the cause of death was strangulation. The police immediately tried to arrest Brian because after Gabby disappeared, Brian used Gabby's bank card to withdraw more than $1,000. The police used this as a reason for Brian to illegally use other people's bank cards and arrested Brian, but the police were late. When we found Gabby's body on September 19th, Brian had been away from home since September 13th. No one knew where Brian had gone or if there was a warrant for Brian's arrest. I'll wrap up the case at the end of the video. Another approach offered by the police is to analyze and guess what happened on the trip. On August 12, 2021, the police received a call from citizens who saw a young man named Brian beating a woman named Gabby. The police saw an out-of-control car hit the curb and decided to pull over to check.
Through here is 25. Oh! Subject just hit the curb. Sorry, do you want to place your vehicle into park and go ahead and turn it off for me? No, park? Oh, it isn't parked yet. Okay, turn off your engine. Go ahead and set your keys on the dash for me, alright? What's your guys' names?
Gabby.
Gabby, Brian? Okay. What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm sorry, we've just been fighting this morning. Some personal issues.
It was a long day. We were camping yesterday and camping got flies and stuff.
Gabby says it was the morning argument, while Brian tries to avoid it, talking about the discomfort caused by the flies.
Out of the vehicle for me.
Yeah.
The police interrogated them separately. This is a basic technique used in interrogation, which is to listen to the story from both sides and sort out the truth.
You want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some days I have really bad OCD, and I was just cleaning and straightening up back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him, I just like so much work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
I'm trying to start a blog. I just have a blog and stuff, so I've been building my website.
Gabby has a lot to do, but Brian doesn't support Gabby.
I've just been really stressed that he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it, so that's kind of been like I don't know, he's like
We can see Gabby subconsciously putting her hands on her knees and breaking down when he thinks about Brian not supporting Gabby's work.
I don't know, we've just been fighting all morning, and this is a rough morning.
Well,
Gabby said it was a difficult morning.
This is a rough morning.
But the fact that it was already close to 5 p.m. and Gabby had just subconsciously mistook 5 p.m. for morning showed that what happened from morning to now didn't stop, which was really bad and made Gabby forget the word time used when speaking at 5 p.m.
Why don't we do this? Why don't I sit you down in the back seat of my car? You're not in any trouble, okay? I'm not going to be putting handcuffs on you.
Hey, how are you? What happened? What's going on?
I'm just having a very stressful morning, trying to get a lot of work done, and I was apologizing to him. I had thrown a bunch of stuff in the back, and all our bags are back there. I have OCD, and I was just like organizing stuff, and sometimes I just have a mean attitude, but I'm not trying to be mean about straightening things up and stuff, so I was just apologizing, but I guess I said it in like a mean tone. And
Gabby's gesture of constantly touching her thigh is a gesture of anxiety. You may notice that Gabby is apologizing for herself. Gabby spoke about the friction between the two, but admitting she was wrong meant Gabby wanted to defend Brian.
Yeah? Is there something on your cheek here? Looks like, did you get hit in the face?
She just checked for blood. Let's see how Gabby explains the wounds on his body.
Kind of looks like something like hit you in the face. And then over on your arm, shoulder, right here. That's new, huh? It's kind of a new mark.
oh yeah, I don't know.
Can I see the other side of your face? So, what happened here and here?
I'm not sure. It was I was just trying to get in the back of the car, and his backpack was on the back, and got me.
Do you see that hesitation? Gabby also said the injury was caused by the backpack. It was clear this was a lie designed to cover up Brian's assault.
So the backpack gotcha? So there's two people that came to us and told us that they saw him hit you. There's two people saying that they saw him punch you. We're just independent witnesses by Moonflower.
When she hears someone accusing Brian, Gabby is worried that Gabby is obviously the one who was beaten. Brian will be arrested because Brian was seen beating Gabby, and look what Gabby said to protect Brian.
Well, to be honest, I definitely hit him first.
It was a way to distract the police. Not in terms of what Brian is doing, but in terms of what Gabby is doing. Gabby will plead guilty to assault for Brian.
Where'd you hit him?
I slapped him in the face.
And then what? And his reaction was to do what?
Not that Brian hit him, but that he shook his hand. Brian said not letting Gabby hit him, and Gabby was really worried about Brian being protective of Brian.
Yeah. Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit him, and then I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you. Because
I guess, yeah, but I hit him first.
It's still an apology to herself.
Did he hit you? Don't worry, just be
He
honest.
like grabbed my face, just like, I guess. He didn't like hit me in the face, like he didn't like punch me in the face or anything.
Although Gabby eventually told Brian what he had done, Gabby's statement significantly mitigated the actions.
Normally we take people to jail, but
The police just mentioned that the punishment could be jail time. Look at Gabby's reaction.
I don't want to be separated.
You can have anxiety?
Yeah, no, we're a team, please.
There's not? What is it?
No, wait, we're a team, please. It's gonna give me so much anxiety. Can we just have like a driving ticket? Because if I'll pay any driving ticket, a parking ticket, anything.
Okay, Gabby, try to calm down.
She panicked when she think about Brian possibly being in jail. Gabby doesn't want to be separated from Brian. Summarize Gabby's words and actions. I could see that Gabby was very tired from morning till now, and they were arguing a lot.
Well,
Gabby was even refused entry into Brian's car.
He got really frustrated with me and he locked me out of the car.
But when he was confronted by the police, Gabby tried to protect his attacker.
I was just trying to get in the back of the car and his backpack was on the back. Got me.
When Brian was accused and took full responsibility for his assault, Gabby defended Brian in any way possible.
Because,
I guess, yeah, but I hit him first.
Maybe Gabby hit Brian like Gabby said, but I can feel that Gabby really loved Brian and Gabby is a good girl. So now look at the other side and see what he said.
Gabrielle, you talk to my fiancé, right?
what's that?
You talk to Gabrielle, right?
Yeah, I just spoke to her.
I saw Brian ask a meaningless question and then make gestures like this, which showed that Brian was worried about what Gabby would say to the police.
So, you want to do me a favor? Let's go ahead and get you to step out of the vehicle, alrighty? Come on over here. You're not in any trouble.
You can see Brian completely obeying the police without any questioning or objection.
Tell me what's going on.
She just gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her, so like I locked the car and I walked away from her. What happened this morning is that she's trying to start up like her own little website blog and everything.
Brian's calmness was completely different from Gabby's frustration.
I give her time, and we really had a nice morning and everything, but
You can see, Brian said it was a great morning without Gabby. He said the exact opposite. A difficult morning and Gabby lost track of time. So whoever was lying, Brian was definitely lying. I could see Brian was stammering and trying to speak quickly.
Nice morning and everything, but
When we lie, we get stressed. Trying to speak fast is a reflex to overcome lies and get rid of stress.
we had a nice morning and everything, but
It was obvious that Brian had lied about that breakfast, and the two argued as loudly as Gabby said, followed by an honest account of what happened.
Tell me about those scratches on your face.
she had her cell phone in her hand. That's why I was pushing her away. She's gotten away. I was just trying to. I know I shouldn't push, but I was just trying to push her away to go. Let's just take a minute, step back, and breathe. And she got me.
He said all he did was push Gabby away.
You want to tell me about hitting that curb?
Hitting the curb was her grabbing the wheel.
She grabbed the wheel.
Yeah. She said, "I can't believe we're getting pulled over."
Because Gabby was holding onto the steering wheel, he was swaying as he drove. Now I can see the antagonism between Brian and Gabby. Gabby did her best to protect Brian.
I was just apologizing, but I guess I said it in like a mean tone, and
Maybe I
so I wouldn't happen. Well, to be honest, I definitely hit it first.
Brian pointed all the fault, the blame at Gabby.
What happened this morning is that she's trying to start up like her own little website blog and everything. So, and then she had her phone and was trying to get a piece of it, so it got away. I was just trying to. Hitting the curb was her grabbing the wheel.
The officer checked on Gabby and then turned to talk to Brian.
A lot of angles, a lot of nails, a lot of rings.
Yeah, you got 3 scratches in your neck. You got 1 on your left side of your nose. You got 1 in your face here, and you got 4 blood bleeding over there. So you just try to. So it looks like 2 hands coming in.
Do you mind lifting up your right sleeve for me? I'm curious about something.
It seems every police officer has been fooled by Brian's friendliness and cooperation. They seem to truly believe that Brian is the victim in this case.
It's a little
what's
bit of
that
nails. I suppose fingernails, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about
Is it-
fingernails.
The scratches on Brian's body strengthened police's belief that he was the victim.
Anything like
No,
that?
no, no. Okay. I'm fine, and I love Gabby. I hope she doesn't have too many complaints about me. I'm just,
It's heartbreaking when Gabby tries to protect Brian, even lying that his wounds were caused by the backpack, while Brian nonchalantly shows off his wounds and points at Gabby as if Gabby is a very rude person. Brian smiled.
complaints about me.
It's like he's trying to tell the police not to believe Gabby's words, as if Gabby is going to say some shit to hurt Brian. After this meeting, police asked the two to spend the night apart to calm down, allowing Gabby to sleep in the car and Brian to sleep in the hotel room because he believed he was the victim. Police were widely criticized in the case. Many believe that had the police taken more drastic action, the police's assessment of the situation may have indirectly contributed to Gabby's tragic end, and that the day could have played out very differently. Given the fact that Gabby was murdered by Brian shortly after, I dare not comment on what the police did to me because it pains me to see the sacrifice and pure love that went into protecting the young girl, Gabby. Even the victim Gabby. I haven't felt so sad in a long time while investigating a case. Maybe because when I analyzed their actions, I saw a huge antagonism between two people who were already married, and I thought about what Brian did to Gabby. Well, Gabby loves Brian. I'm going to end this with you. On September 19th, about a month later, on October 20th, 2021, police discovered a body in a creekside forest in Florida. Brian's body and belongings were submerged underwater, making it difficult to identify. Brian died from a gunshot wound to the head, and police recovered a notebook of Brian's which he left a long letter before his death. But some believe Brian said Gabby had been in an accident. Gabby falls and is seriously injured, and Brian kills Gabby to end Gabby's pain. I ended Gabby's life, which I thought was merciful. That's what Gabby wanted, but now I see all the mistakes I made, Brian said, and the reason I went to the forest to end my life was not because of fear of punishment, but because I couldn't live anymore without Gabby. However, experts said Brian's account was inconsistent with the findings of investigators, who did not believe that Gabby had been involved in an accident but that Gabby had been strangled by hand. Some experts believe that Brian is someone who is unwilling to admit what he has done and is trying, making excuses for the behavior you do. I completely agree with Brian's death and confession. The case is officially over. We look back at the whole case. I see Gabby, the girl, and Brian, the man Gabby loved, traveling in the United States in a camper.
Never goes outside.
Gabby quit her job and is now trying to become an internet celebrity. Gabby has to go out for work, but from what I understand, it's a full-time work trip, not outing. Gabby had to publish her own Instagram posts on TikTok and make videos on YouTube alongside a private website. I only have to manage a YouTube channel, and I can see that Gabby has a lot of work to do. Gabby has to do a lot of the work herself, worse than the people Gabby loves.
It doesn't really stress me. He doesn't really believe that I could do any of it, so that's kind of been like I don't know, he's like
It was probably because Gabby was so busy that the two of you started arguing. Through the above analysis, I found that Brian does not respect Gabby as much as Gabby respects Brian. As the altercation unfolds, we never know what happened. I was scared, but I knew the outcome was that Gabby was murdered by the man he loved. Brian later took his own life. Brian left a confession letter, but it seemed that the content was not intended to be a confession. A psychiatrist analyzed the letter as follows. To Gabby, Brian thinks Brian was the victim. Brian wants everyone to sympathize with Brian despite Gabby being the victim of the content. Brian describes his murder as a heroic act according to FBI analysis and an autopsy. Gabby was killed because Gabby asked Brian to put Gabby out of her misery. Of course, psychologically speaking, no one would think of killing his lover, so Brian just made up the story because he didn't want to admit to the crime. Brian is a narcissist who is very narcissistic even when there is no one around him. Even before committing suicide, Brian wanted to protect his ego and pride. Brian tries to manipulate the readers into thinking Brian is a good guy, but everyone realizes this is fake. Sadly, Gabby was killed by a girl Gabby really loved, and Brian was a despicable killer who kept saying he loved Gabby until he died. Brian also said that Brian died because he couldn't survive without Gabby. Several murders have been unfairly called love murders. Love and justification of evil actions. Love is the most beautiful emotion. Don't confuse love with impulsive cruelty. Possessiveness and selfishness in love include tolerance, forgiveness, sacrifice, and healing. Look at how Gabby protects his abuser. Even though Gabby is a coward, it's sincere. Brian is a person who only cares about himself. Brian doesn't know what love is. As the murderer said, most of the time, they are selfish people. They want to regard objects as belonging to themselves. If they are not their own, it's not someone else's. The highest of all feelings, their emotions are supreme, and with these characteristics, they never care about other people's emotions, and if they can show it, it is just to boost their own ego, and then after doing something bad, they say it is because of love. It turns into hatred, which is despicable. Those who don't have any love go in the name of love. You can die for the one you love, but how can you kill the one you love? All this is because he does not want to admit that he is an evil and cruel killer to defend his noble honor. He can only bring love in and change the concept of love into a lie. They deceive themselves into thinking they are doing the right thing and deceive those who know nothing about love outside, making them sympathize with themselves as a person who no one can kill the one they love. Killing others is never done out of love, and don't use love as a justification for bad behavior. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoy this video. I'm Agent M.